All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take. Sharp and Shapiro. So glad you could join us on a Tuesday. A lot to get to here in the next 2.5 hours of radio. But coming up here in just a little bit, we're going to talk about this story about this mom who turned her son in. He wanted to go into a school and pull a Columbine. We'll get to that in a little bit. But, you know, we've heard these stories, JD, about San Francisco, and I've been to San Francisco before, and you go on a certain street, and it smells like the worst possible restroom you could ever imagine. You know, people defecating on the streets and urinating. Well, guess what? I got some bad news for you folks in downtown Las Vegas because it's coming to a business near you. The gentleman we have with us in studio right now, he's an attorney. His name is Gerald Gillock, and he runs a law firm downtown. And he has a disgusting and despicable story to tell us where something that has been happening in front of his business has been happening for quite some time, and it appears as though the city is not acting upon it. First of all, Gerald, thank you so much for being here. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
I appreciate you coming in. All right, so let's start from the beginning here. When is the first time that, and how long, by the way, have you had this business downtown?
Okay, I've had this building. I've had this building since 2000, the year 2000. I've had offices downtown since 1970.
Wow. Okay, so where is this specific office that we're talking about?
It's on the corner of 4th Street and Clark Street.
Okay, so we if you live in Vegas, you know where that is.
Right,
near
and
the
it's right
courthouse.
between the brand new Supreme Court
Right.
and the Regional Justice Center.
Okay, so obviously there's a homeless problem in many parts of the country. L.A. much worse than Vegas, but we have a serious homeless problem here as well. What is the first time where you walked out of your office and you either saw somebody that was defecating or urinating or you smelled it? What was the first sign to you that, ooh, this is disgusting? What's going on here? When did this happen?
It started quite a while ago, but it got worse about 4 months ago because the city closed down the old school park, which was across the street. There was what we call the old Vegas School, which is a kind of a city building now. And the city put a 7-foot fence around it with spikes on top of the courtyard where the homeless used to hang out during the days. So that pushed all the homeless out into the business districts, and all the businessmen then had to put up with them during the day as well as what was going on at night. So that was about 4 months ago that it got really deplorable.
Okay, so you've actually seen people.
Yeah.
I almost said use the restroom, but that's not what they're doing. They're just going to the bathroom outside. I'm trying to describe this in a way where if you're eating your Egg McMuffin driving right now, you're not vomiting. But you've seen people, women and men, defecating in front of your offices. Is that fair to say?
At all hours of day, yes.
In the middle of the day, they're just dropping trow and taking a dump right outside your office?
Absolutely. There was, for example, one of the pictures we forwarded to the city 2 weeks ago was a woman on the street right where the bus stops, and she had her pants down, mooning, and going to the bathroom right there on the city sidewalk. And
she went number 2 right there.
Right there in the middle of the day. And so a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, I came in on a Sunday, and someone had gone number 2, as you say, on my front porch. So I took that and put it in a shovel and marched it over.
They didn't even go on the sidewalk. He just dropped trow right on your porch of your business.
Came up on my porch.
Do they have toilet paper? Are they using?
No, sometimes they don't. But the other day when I was out there was toilet paper along the fence.
So they left toilet paper too?
Oh, sometimes. But they go to the bathroom every single day. If you have 25 people sleeping along a fence on a city sidewalk, those 25 people are going to go to the bathroom when they wake up.
Yeah, they have to go to the bathroom.
If it was JD, it would be about 5 times.
At least 6 times.
And they go to the bathroom in the alleyway between the county building and my building, and the city said, "Well, that's been vacated. You own it." I said, "Well, they're sleeping on your sidewalks, and you're saying since I own the alley, I have to use it as a toilet. But any lawyer, any person, any citizen, any couple getting married that has to walk between the courthouses walks right past this toilet."
Oh, my God.
And there's palm trees on the corner, big, beautiful palm trees that I planted 25 years ago, and they go to the bathroom behind those.
Wow, free fertilizer.
Yeah, so right there, you walk, everywhere you walk, you smell that, even coming up to my front steps.
And you contacted the city, and they don't have any answers for you.
Well, the city has now proposed, as a result of what I did a couple of weeks ago, the city is proposing an ordinance that will make it illegal to sleep on the street if there is no room, if there is room at the shelter they call the courtyard that they built. But all they have to do in that ordinance to suspend it is say this courtyard is full, which, by the way, it's already full, And then they don't have to suspend it, and that puts it right back on us. My theory is, and I've told the city this, and I've been after them to say, if you suspend this ordinance you're proposing, you have to provide sanitation within 8 hours.
Here's what I don't understand. And by the way, if you're just joining us, we're speaking with lawyer Gerald Gillock. He owns a firm downtown, and there are people defecating and urinating. It's been going on for months right in front of his business, even on his porch. Here's something I don't understand, Gerald. Okay, if I decided to go out in front of this business, well, first of all, I'd be fired if I did that. If I decided to go out in front of this business or any business, drop trow, and either urinate or go number two, I would probably be arrested, okay? That is, public indecency, right? I would be arrested. You can't do that. There's a reason why there are laws in place. So my question to you is this. Why can't you just call the police? I'm sure you've thought about this. Why can't you just call the police and get some of these people arrested? I don't care if they're homeless or not. If you're going to the bathroom, why can't they just go into a business and use the restroom? Why can't they go into a fast food place and use the restroom? They could do that if they wanted to. Why can't you walk into a casino and use the restroom? That, to me, an officer should be allowed to arrest you for public indecency. Why can't they do that? I don't understand.
Well, you can call the Metro, and so you call 311, you punch number 1, then you punch number 1 again, then you punch number 6. That shows you that I've done it a million times.
Right.
And they will come out and trespass them. And if they give them a trespass, then the next time they would come out, they would arrest that person. But a lot of them don't have identification, and then a lot of them.
Right.
But the Metro is so swamped with this issue. I mean, it's not just my building. I have a friend that just built a $3 million building on the corner of Garces and 3rd Street, and he has to start every morning with a power washer.
Oh, my God.
And his receptionist, her first job is to go out there with a power washer and wash the feces off of the back
you're
porch.
telling me.
Do you believe that you've actually lost business because of this?
Not me personally. I haven't lost any business because I have a specialty. I specialize in medical cases. So all of my business comes to me from other sources.
Sure.
But downtown's going to be a ghost town. They spent $5 million or more on trees to go down the middle of the street. They put pavers in the intersections, just so I guess the homeless will have a nice place to go to the bathroom. But 2 weeks, about a month ago, Councilman Diaz had a meeting with all the downtown people from the art district, and they were talking about the condoms and the drug needles and everything that they're finding in the art district, as well as what we're facing on 4th Street and 3rd Street. One of the attorneys next door to me has a garage where he parks inside with his expensive car. They've peed under the door, so he can't even open his garage. And he has to block it off from the rest of his office.
But, Gerald, I'm trying to understand this. Like, if you wake up in the morning, you go to work, and you just talked about your friend who owns a business there too, and the first thing you have to do is look at a bunch of feces and get a washer to wash it off, and that's how you start your day. I would throw up. I wouldn't be able to do it.
I start my day every day with what I call grabbers, those things with a handle that you pick up things that you don't want to touch.
Oh,
and then I have a bucket full of Clorox, and I have a large trash bag, and we carry the cardboards.
I mean, this sounds
that
like
they
Breaking
sleep on.
Bad.
Yeah, we take the cardboards that they sleep on and pick up the condoms and the other stuff with the grabbers and carry them back to the alley.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. So you're telling me this? Hold on.
Every day.
You're telling me this is Gerald. You're obviously a very educated man. You run a great business, and you've been doing this for a long time as an attorney. You're telling me you wake up in the morning. And I don't mean to laugh. Don't get me. I feel really bad for you. Okay, it shouldn't be funny, but I'm
It's
laughing.
frustrating.
I'm laughing because it's so ridiculous. Don't get the wrong. I'm not laughing. I feel bad for you, Gerald. Okay, I really do. You're telling me you start your day. I'm sorry, I have to repeat this again, by picking up used condoms, syringes, and feces in front of, and that's how you start.
Cardboard and clothes and bottles full of pee. They'll take a Gatorade bottle and pee in it.
I'm flabbergasted.
I have to pull up next to two of them that are sleeping in my parking lot and put my horn on emergency so it will honk and get them out of there. And then they go straight to the alley and go to the bathroom when I run them out.
Have you seen people having sex in front of your business too?
Oh, I've seen people having sex in front of my business. And in the art district, one lady was turning tricks down there in a tent.
Oh, my God.
Do you also
Oh,
find
my God. I'm getting sick to my stomach.
syringes, needles, drug paraphernalia et cetera?
Yes, definitely. And in the alley, I've had, for example, last Friday night, Channel 3 was out to my building to do a little tour of the alley. The reporter couldn't even stand in the alley. And then when it's 110 degrees,
that'd be awful.
that asphalt generates the heat. And if the wind's from the wrong direction, it'll blow it into my building.
Oh my God! I'm thinking
so
of
the city misses a point.
I'm thinking of like the worst morning that JD has ever had, where he's been gassy, and multiply it by 20.
That's
right?
actually never happened ever.
I'll tell you,
making that
the
up.
city's missing the point. They're saying,
Yeah.
well, we'll provide. We're trying to get money for low income housing. They don't want housing. Those people. They think they're living on the street. They think that's their house. But the other thing is, if the city's going to leave them on the street because they say they have a right to be there, then they have to provide sanitation.
Absolutely.
But they're not doing it.
Right.
And even the new ordinance totally does not require one single affirmative act by the city.
You can get diseases.
Here's a question.
Yeah.
We have the NFL draft coming here next year, probably the Super Bowl in 3 or 4 years. How are we going to be able to have these events take place with this giant homeless problem that we have in downtown?
It's only going to get worse.
I mean, we have to clean it up, don't we?
We have to clean it up because, number one, San Diego had a hepatitis outbreak on their streets and had to disinfect all their downtown streets because of the homeless had created a hepatitis epidemic. Los Angeles has got rats at their new city hall, and they're worried about a plague. So
they have typhus, it sounds like.
Exactly.
So here's what I want to do. I want to open up the phone lines. And if you're just joining us, lawyer Gerald Gillock in studio, runs a firm downtown and has homeless people defecating, has homeless people urinating in front of his business, even on his porch, people living right outside of his business. I want to open up the phone lines, and I want to know, do any of you out there that are listening right now have had to deal with this sort of thing? Any of you out there have had to deal with this poor man has had to deal with, and many others downtown? Give us a call right now. What do you think about this? What do you think the city should do about these homeless people? What should be done here? He's picking up condoms, syringes, used condoms, syringes, and, people who go number 2 in front of his business. The number to call if you want to be a part of the show, 257-5396. Again, that number to call, 702-257-5396. And again, my question to you is, what do you think the city should do about this? Do you have any horror stories that you would like to share with us on the air when it comes to people that are homeless? Are they doing that sort of thing in front of your business or around your business? What have you seen? What have you heard? And what do you think the city should do about it? Again, that number to call if you want to be a part of this conversation is 257-5396. That's 702-257-5396. Gerald, in the months that this, oh boy, you're showing me pictures right now on your cell phone. It's just absolutely
just awful.
I don't even know how to describe that. It's so disgusting. Gerald, what do you think is?
Describe it as a lady taking a dump.
Yeah, that's exactly that's exactly what you just showed me. What do you think is? That's pretty bad. But what do you think is the worst thing you have ever seen when this all started? Like, what's the something that you looked at? I mean, obviously, if I saw something like
the
this,
worst thing I've ever seen was when an individual was urinating in my bushes out front, and I came out and ran him off verbally. And then the next morning when I came in, he had gone number 2 all over my front door from as high as you could probably throw it down with diarrhea clear through the front door all the way down to the steps. By the way, my steps are used brick. My building is a real showcase. It's kind of like a piece of history because, number one, the building was built in 1970 by our senator.
So you think that he was angry that you chased him off because he was urinating, so he said, hey, I'm really going to get this guy, and he decided to go number 2.
So you think that there's actually some malice going on?
That was malice, definitely.
Absolutely.
And
so these homeless people are actually, like your friend who had the very nice building and the nice car.
They're
actually
dangerous, some of
They're
them.
actually targeting people who have nice things, and they're trying to destroy them.
And they're dangerous, some of them. One of them said, I suppose that's your name on the front of the building. He said, you don't know how bad I want to cut your throat. And I said, so I called the police, obviously, on that one and got him trespassed. But right next to my front door is a city-owned power box that furnishes power to their parking garage, and that's the homeless' favorite bathroom. So people walking up to my front door smell this because the city doesn't clean it.
How do you think there are a lot of other areas where this is going on? I mean, how do you
Absolutely.
Like where is it? You think it's just downtown, or you think
Absolutely not?
Where else do you think this stuff is going on?
Well, I know that they've recently shown some homeless on some of the abandoned golf courses out in the west and Summerlin area, and I know people that wherever you're going to find dumpsters with food in them, you're going to find homeless people because they'll crawl up in the dumpsters and take food, and then people think they're doing the homeless a favor by bringing food to them. And what they don't realize is when they drop off ice chest full of food at the sidewalk next to my building that those people are going to eat it and then go to the bathroom.
Yeah, that's actually true.
It's got to go somewhere.
So,
very valid point.
So, obviously, many people that are homeless, there's a lot of different reasons, but a lot of the same reasons, right? Drug addictions, gambling addictions, mental illness. We talk about mental illness on this show all the time. And it's one of those situations where you're homeless, you don't have any money, and it seems like in our society, when you don't have money, the politicians don't want to help you. If you have money, then all of a sudden they want to help you. But when you're homeless and maybe you don't have family, you don't have a lot of friends. We did a story on this show not too long ago, JD, of a former porn star. She had a lot of money. She turned to drugs, and now she's homeless, living on the streets in Las Vegas. It's sad.
She's literally living under a bridge. And then we had a former homeless man talk to us for about 30 minutes, and he explained the actual process of being homeless and how he said there was a guy that lived under the bridge for 15 years. He's been there for 15 years.
Yeah.
One of the things too that's kind of happened on is how you see the homeless on the freeway off ramps with a sign. Those people are put there by a company. There's these guys that put them out there, and then they come take their money and just pay them minimal assistance. They drop them off in the mornings and bring them back home. They're actually being exploited.
I wondered that there's a guy on Flamingo in Durango. He's there every single day, walking on the street, right and back and forth in front of the distill and the bar right there. I live a few blocks away next to Spanish Trail. But he's wearing nice sandals. He's wearing nice clothes. He's clearly making money. But he's there 20 hours a day, walking back and forth.
And he's being exploited by people that put him out there.
Yeah.
But I think the real issue is how can a city justify, for example, closing down the old school, and now they've put in all this grass, they've put in a whole big park, probably the cost of $3 million, and then fenced it off and locked the gate.
Yeah, well, you know what?
So how do they justify that without providing a bathroom to somebody?
We're going to get Carolyn Goodman, the mayor, on the show. We are going to talk to her about this.
I went to city council last week because they have this new proposed ordinance.
Yeah.
And I told her, she goes, the city is doing everything we can do. And I said, with all due respect, Miss Mayor, the city's not doing anything. And I said, the only place you will find without any homeless around it is City Hall.
Jeez. I'll tell you what.
That's a coincidence.
You're right. Yeah, quite the coincidence. I'm going to get Carolyn Goodman to come on the show. We're going to talk to her about this. I'm friends with Oscar Goodman. I know he would be open about this and talking about this as well. We're going to get down to the bottom of this. And so if you have your story that you want to share with us right now, or maybe a question for the attorney, you could give us a buzz. The number to call right now is 257-5396. Now is the time to do it. 702-257-5396 is the number to call if you want to be a part of the program. And again, we are joined in studio by Attorney Gerald Gillock. He claims, and well, he doesn't claim, it's happening. We know it's happening. There are people defecating and urinating in front of his offices downtown. It's not the first time this has happened. This has been going on for a while now. And he says, the city's not really doing anything about it. They're saying that, they have a right to sleep on these sidewalks. And obviously, if these people are eating, and obviously they have to go to the bathroom. And he said that one gentleman even threatened to slit his throat and spitefully defecated on his porch.
The guy that threatened to slit your throat, are the prisons, are the jails in Clark County too full to take these people in?
I think they're maybe too full. I'm not real sure.
All right, well, we're taking your phone calls on this again. 257-5396 is the number. Again, that number to call, 702-257-5396 is the number to call. Let's start off with Wayne. Wayne, thank you for calling into the Vegas Take. What's on your mind? What do you think about this issue? What should we do about it?
My friend's dead.
Wayne, are you there? Did we lose Wayne? Did we lose Wayne? He's not there? Okay, 257-5396 is the number to call. We're talking to lawyer Gerald Gillock, who is in studio. And again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful over here, okay? I'm not trying to make light of this situation. It is just so bizarre, and it is so disgusting. I find it hard to believe that the city is not helping you, not doing anything about it. We got a lot of people calling in. I think we're having some issues with the phone lines here, but the number to call is 257-5396. Let's go to Michelle. Michelle, how are you?
Hi, it's Rochelle.
Rochelle, thank you.
I work downtown, Las Vegas Boulevard, and 6th Street.
Rochelle, I think we might have lost you there. Are you still there?
6.
Go ahead.
Gosh.
Go ahead.
Right. The homeless are right there at the camping on the street, on the sidewalk, right on Bridger before 6th Street.
Oh, boy.
And they use the bathroom on the sidewalk. They have sex there. There's the Beverly Palms apartment.
Oh, my gosh. That's horrible.
So
well, that's bad.
it is. It's every single day, and they do nothing about it.
Well, obviously, you're not alone, Michelle. We appreciate that story, and I'm sorry that you had to see that and you had to go through that. 257-5396 is the number to call again, 257-5396. Let's go to Corey. Corey, thanks for calling into the Vegas Take. What's your solution to all this, Corey?
So I got an idea. So what about building? I mean, we've got enough desert out here around the outside of the city. What if we built some kind of like a jail, not a jail where they're locked in and they have to stay there, but kind of like a jail style with stainless steel toilets, small little cell, give them like a 2-year buffer to get out there. We can set up shuttles to get them out there, give them services to provide them, stuff to get jobs, to get help, whether they have drug addiction, gambling addiction, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And give them a 2-year period, buffer period to get out there, get situated, get some resources to them to get them on their feet.
Yeah.
And that way it'll clear out the city, get them out of here, and then in 2 years, maybe make it illegal to sleep on the sidewalk and defecate and urinate everywhere.
Well, Corey, that's an interesting thing you brought up there. Gerald, what do you think about that?
Well, I think that it would have some benefits. The only problem is a lot of the homeless have mental issues, and a lot of the homeless wouldn't go there. One of the problems they have with the shelter they have now, which is called the Courtyard, the city funds it and puts them there, is there's so much drugs and violence in there, a lot of the homeless don't want to go there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Anything would be better than what we have now.
Yeah, I agree. I got about 30 seconds for you, Mike. Mike, what do you think about these homeless people? What do we need to do here?
I agree with this gentleman that's on you as a guest. A lot of these people are violent. Where I have coffee in the morning, they come in, try to steal soda. They've resorted to having to turn the machine off, and then when they confront them on it, some of them get violent, start throwing cups. They get cups out of the garbage, come in there and try to steal stuff. And I don't think they want to be in facilities.
Mike, that is a very valid point. I apologize. I'm up against a hard break, but we appreciate your phone call. Well, listen, Gerald, we're not going to end this discussion, okay? We are going to be on this. We're going to try to get the mayor on, and what you and these other people are going through is just atrocious.
I really
appreciate
appreciate your attention to this because it's a major issue that's going to become huge in the city. And when you bring the mayor on, I'd be happy to join her.
You know what? We will invite you on as well. And I'll tell you what, I need to use the bathroom now, not to go number 1 or number 2, but to vomit because this is just absolutely disgusting. All right, we're going to take a quick break. Be back right after this. Thank you so much, Gerald, for coming in.
Thanks a lot, Gerald.
Thank you. We appreciate it. We'll be back right after this. You're listening to The Vegas Take.